Welcome back. I'm Anna Rathbun, and today I am talking to you from my computer, from a Zoom program that I use to talk to people all over the country. It's really fun. We can share face-to-face and share documents and look so I can show you in diagrams and recipes and foods what we're talking about. Today I am going to do the final session in your three-part series on adrenal health. In the first email, you got a questionnaire just asking about your symptoms, how exhausted you feel. Are you struggling with adrenal weakness and adrenal burnout? My feeling is usually if that rings a bell, then you're correct. Trust yourself. If you feel lousy, that's probably true. The next was a video in which I just explained what's going on with adrenal burnout. It's just our adrenals are designed to help us fight or flight, to help us survive. In this day and age, unfortunately, what happens is that we use our adrenals all day long and they don't get the same type of recovery. And today I'm going to go into the details of an adrenal support plan. This is a specific nutrient, herb, lifestyle plan in order to help yourself recover and feel stronger. It's a short-term plan. This is not a plan for long-term. It's designed to help you recover from adrenal burnout, feel stronger, and nourish your adrenals so that you feel better. After you've done this plan and you're feeling better, then it would be time to transition to the next set of recommendations around your food, herbs, and lifestyle that match whatever you need at that point. So this plan I'm going into is specifically for adrenal burnout. If that term rings a bell, then trust yourself. That's maybe what's going on. Functional medicine has recently renamed adrenal burnout and is calling it HPA axis dysregulation, which is true and accurate. However, I like to use the original word because it really rings a bell and feels true to people who are struggling with this. So I'm going to switch now to document sharing, which means, and here you have the adrenal support plan. There's also a PDF in your email that you can print out and follow along and take notes so that every step along the way has a printout for you. It's really helpful to take this printout and put it on your refrigerator so that you have something to refer to and to remind you what you're doing, why you're doing it. This is a short-term plan designed to help support adrenal health. Once you're feeling better, you would go to the next plan. So your very first step is a cup of miso soup in the morning, a very salty type of broth. The next step would be a strong protein. The strongest protein there is beef or lamb. So this red meat that we've heard is a problem. Maybe for some conditions it is, but for adrenal health, it's the most strengthening, and it can really help you to feel stronger, to nourish your adrenals so that you feel strong all day long. It's worth it to try it. Just try it for 3 days, and when you feel better, you'll thank me. You'll know why. It will make sense to you at that point. After a while, you won't want that anymore. The other thing is tension tamer tea, and then the other thing is lifestyle, which is slow, deep breathing. So we're going to break these down and go more detail into the salty soup, grass-fed beef, tension tamer tea, and slow, deep breathing. Here is a cup of bone broth. This is frequently my salty soup in the morning if I'm struggling with a little bit of extra stress or exhaustion, burnout. This is bone broth with about a teaspoon of salt in the cup in the morning. Sounds like a lot of salt, but salt is actually helpful for adrenal burnout. It's very common for adrenal stressed people to have actually low blood pressure. And that it makes it difficult to get up in the morning and difficult to get going when you don't have enough blood pressure. If you're struggling from high blood pressure, then do skip this step and talk to me personally about a different recommendation, because the high sodium is not great for high blood pressure, but it can be really helpful for adrenal support. So we have our first step is a miso soup or a bone broth with about a teaspoon of salt in the morning, and just sip that down to get you started. The second step would be a big, strong breakfast of grass-fed beef, lamb, some type of a red meat. If you've been avoiding red meat for a long time, this may sound scary to you, but if your stomach can digest it, which most people can if you've been eating any other type of meat, you can digest it fine, and it will make you feel stronger. It's only for a few days. It will really, really make a big difference, and you'll feel better the rest of the day. And then after you're feeling better on a regular basis, you can switch over to some of the lighter meals. Chicken, fish, turkey. For vegetarians, they may have enough digestive capacity to do beans and rice, something, but just getting yourself started with some grass-fed beef. Here is a breakfast that I have sometimes. On the handout, what I describe is just grass-fed beef with collards and sweet potatoes for breakfast. And that can make a big difference in getting you started, making you feel strong, and helping your adrenals recover. So that's your breakfast. Then we have a little bit of herbal therapy. There are stronger supplements that I work with, sometimes stronger herbal and nutrients that help to strengthen the adrenals. In this program for everyone, this Tension Tamer's tea is really nice. The Tension Tamer tea contains certain adaptogenic herbs, and what the herbs do is they help to calm down your adrenal stress. So if you've ever been in that situation where you get extremely stressed, something dangerous happens, and then the threat is gone. You know it's absolutely gone. There's no threat anymore, but for some reason, your heart's still racing, and you still feel the stress pumping through your body. That's when these adrenals don't like to turn off very well. And the herbs in here help to calm that reaction so that you can react to the stress really fast, and then you can calm down after the stress. If you're in a particularly stressful situation, it's helpful to take two or three tea bags from this, put it in a little cup of very, very hot water, and drink that down, and you will feel the fight or flight, the anxiety, the stress will go down. It's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. So these are what we were talking about. These are the adrenals themselves. They're these little caps that sit on top of the kidneys, and there's your kidneys there, and those set into the lower back. And when you are in stress, when you have to run from a lion or lift a car off of a loved one, these go into action, and they flood the bloodstream with lots and lots of energy to make you strong and help you fight or flight. However, that feeling on a long-term basis, going all the time, is very, very damaging. And then they can get what we call trigger happy. So the adrenals will pump out adrenaline at every time you drop a pen or something that's really not necessary. So all of these things, the bone broth in the morning, a big, very, very strengthening breakfast to stabilize your adrenals and energy, and the Tension Tamer tea, these things will all help to calm down the adrenals. The last thing that I'm going to talk about is actually your own personal response to stress. So we all respond differently. And so some people can deal with a stressful situation without actually triggering the stressful response. The simplest way to do that, if you're a stressed person, is deep breathing. So when you take a really big, deep breath through your lungs here, your body has to shut down these stress responses. So you can't physiologically take a really good, deep breath and secrete adrenal hormones at the same time. It's a wonderful tool to use during a stressful situation or a non-stressful situation when you find your body is racing and your adrenals are stressed, but you shouldn't be. So this makes me want to take a deep breath. So we're just going to slowly go with me and take a really slow, deep breath and notice how your adrenals feel. Helps me feel calm and relaxed. I wish I had done that at the beginning of the video. Would have helped me be a little bit calmer. So here's your handout, and to summarize, I'm going to summarize. There we have a couple different recipes here for a salty soup in the morning, miso soup with a good dose of salt, or a bone broth soup with a good dose of salt. And that will help to strengthen your adrenals, give you enough blood pressure to get going. Next, we have a strengthening breakfast, grass-fed beef with collards and sweet potato. That's my recipe. The other photo I have is something right here. This is not a long-term plan. Again, this is something to help your adrenals recover. And then when you're feeling stronger, after 3 days or a week, then you'll go to the next step, whatever that is for you. We have the tension tamer tea, which is adaptogenic herbs, and that helps to strengthen and calm down the adrenals, these little adrenals here. And then we like to take deep breaths. Very slow, deep breathing will also help to calm the adrenals. Thank you for being here, and thank you for listening. This is number 3 in a series of lessons about adrenal health and how important it is, and how we can work with diet and lifestyle in order to calm and strengthen your adrenals so that you feel better. You can find out more information at www.foodtherapy.us. And I'm Anna Rathbun, and thank you for listening.